Hi, welcome to my Chanel Cinema House Recaps TV. Today I'm going to explain a Thai drama movie called The Billionaire. Tob is an average schoolboy who is not good at studying. But he is addicted to computer games. He and his friends even keep playing video games in the middle of the class. He wins money from games. He takes a credit card from their old butler and connects it with his game. When he wins a lot of money, he goes to buy a car. When he drives the car to school, he gets a call to the office. His teacher wants to call his parents. But, he says, instead of calling his parents, they can cut his merits. His teacher says that he doesn't even have enough merits. Tob doesn't accept his defeat and says that he will pay for the new neon sign school. But, teacher says that he cannot bribe the school, and he gets very upset with Tob behavior and says, why can't he be like his siblings and graduate like a good student? And also the teacher says that he is worried about how he is going to make a living for himself. Then he let him go. When he comes outside, all the students are gathered around his car looking with amazement. He ignores them and takes his girlfriend with him. They drive around the town with a new car. He comes home very late and parks the car outside and asks his butler to bring it inside. While he tries to sneak inside without waking his parents, butler doesn't know much about cars. Accidentally set the alarm, startling him. When he goes inside, his parents are waiting for him near the stairs. His dad scolds him for coming home late and also for buying a car. He says that if Tob continues to waste money like this, they will go bankrupt soon. Tob says that it was his money that he earned from online gaming. But his dad says that he should study seriously or be ready for consequences and leaves. His mother says to Tob that they need only thing from him is to study properly. And also she says that he should not worry them too much and leaves. His gaming addiction didn't stop over the years, and it is time for him to go to university. He still doesn't get serious, goes to buy a PlayStation and a DVD player to continue gaming. When he get back home after buying, his parents ask him about his university admission. He says that he got accepted into a private university and it is not even that expensive. His father says that he should go to community college because he is not going to study and they will not waste money on it. Tob says that he has money and he will pay for himself. His mother goes after his father and tries to convince him to let Tob go to a private university. While his parents arguing themselves, he goes to his room to play video games. There he discovers that his account has been deleted. He goes to the electronics shop again and buys many DVDs at a discount. When he go back home and try to show DVD players to his parents, one of DVD got broken even before he manages to sells one or to use. He go back to the shopkeeper. Then shopkeeper says that the DVDs have no warranty or exchange policy. That's why they are so cheap. Tob should have known it was common knowledge. And the shopkeeper asked him to throw it all away. In his anger he breaks a mirror table in the shop. The shopkeeper slaps him. Tob runs away before he beaten up. To his way back home he offers his father a ride. His father says to Tob that doing business is not a joke, and his father offers him some money so that he can study anywhere he wanted to. But when Tob says he is not one of his employees, with that his father takes the money back. In the following scene, Tob takes his dad's amulet and sell it in a shop and takes 100,000. He goes to school with that money. Even this time he is not at all serious about his career and skipping classes. In the next following scene he go to the auditorium and sees his girlfriend and other people practicing for a drama. She comes to him after rehearsal but refuses to go out with him, as she says she has classes and later rehearsal for a drama. He goes to a market where there are different kinds of machines being sold. And there is free food to try where the machines are making. He interestingly listens to that person explaining the qualities of chestnut making that are prepared by machines. Tob takes great interest in it and purchases it even though it was so expensive. When he comes back home his father gets angry and shouts he can buy with much cheaper prices in weekend markets than wasting money. The next day after school he goes to an old man selling chestnuts and asked him about the process and all the techniques for chestnuts. He continues his research and goes to different people to gather information. He applies all these techniques at home, trying to make the best chestnuts. When he makes his first batch, he asks his butler to try it. Then he goes to his mother, who says that it is very delicious. When his father is in the meeting with a friend, they keep eating chestnuts. His friend asks him where he gets them from because they are delicious, and he replies Tob's roasting them. His friend replies that his son is very hard working. In a mall, Tob gets a spot to set up his chestnut stand. There are a lot of other shops near the corner selling different kinds of sweets. In the next scene, Tob and his butler Twang work together on the first day. Tob asked why do they sell so little? The old man replies he cannot yell as loudly as another seller, because he is not that energetic anymore. Tob says they have to sell it anyway. For that they started shouting loud and repetitive, and also this time started calling people over with their voices and hand signals. Tob went to a local market for clothes and accidentally meets his girlfriend. They talked for a while. She tells him that she doesn't get paid for her acting. He gets pissed and says, "This is unfair." In the middle of the conversation, he gets a call from his butler. The old man says that business is not good today and all the other shops are closed. She asks him whom he was talking. He replies it was Tung and doesn't have to worry about anything. On his way, Tob sees people getting donations and Tob gets an idea from that. When he came back to the store, he asked the manager to move his stall. But they refused and he cannot move it. Tob tries to say that he will stall, but they say that he can leave. But he will not get a refund as mentioned in the contract. And also the manager says that after the end of the month there will be a free spot, and if he wants to move, there will be a contract to sign immediately cause it is a prime location and he will earn his rental back in no time. In the following scene, Tob's in the class taking his exam. His phone keeps ringing continuously in his bag. At first, he doesn't pay any attention. After a while, he stands up and takes out his phone. Teacher observes that and warns Tob if he picks up his phone, she will report it for cheating. He thinks for a while and then takes his bag and phone and walks out of the classroom. After listening to the call, he quickly comes to the mall with a bag of chestnuts and is very happy to see a lot of people in his stall on their first day. He happily talks with the old man that they should open more branches. Old man replies, "Slow down." But Tob's determined and he opens another stall within no time. At his new branch, his girlfriend meets him. In anger, she says they are not dating anymore, because she doesn't know anything about him. Later she says she is worried about his future. Tob calls his friend and asks who told her about Tob. His friend says that she was thinking Tob was cheating on her. With no choice left. At the mall, the manager checks the ceiling near the stall is getting damaged because of the smoke. If he doesn't have any way to fix it, they will have to cancel his contract. Tob replies that he will fix it. He, with the help of an old man, starts painting the ceiling by himself. Security cautions him to paint after the mall closes. By that the customers will not get disturbed. He started painting at night with his mother. Then security comes in and asks him to leave. Tob tries to convince security, but no use, and he offers some money. But he returns his money and shouts at his mother to discipline her son. His mother asks him to apply for a passport tomorrow. But he is determined to fix the problem and says that he has time and will fix this in the morning. Mother says that they are moving to China because they are about to go bankrupt. He gets very angry and asks his mother how much debt they are in. The chestnut business is doing well and he can pay their debt. His mother just keeps crying and asks him to come with them, so they can be together at least. Tob is getting his pictures in the passport office. In the middle, he came out of the office to his parents. As his father tells, he is ready to be an employee so he can give him money to study. His parents leave to China without him. At the airport, his father advises him to leave chestnuts and go to school. The next morning, he goes back to the mall to complete the ceiling work. But the manager shows up and tells him that they cannot let him keep his stalls. He has to take every branch out. He is lying in his house. He sees some ladies reading something on his door. And when he goes out and sees it, gets disappointed to see that it is a bankruptcy notice from the court. Then he throws it in the trash. He sees his girlfriend when he is around in the market, and he quickly hugs her and starts crying. She says that he should leave the business and go to school. She will help him. They sit in the car and eat fried seaweeds she had brought from her house. From there he gets the idea to try seaweed as his next venture. He goes to the bank to apply for a loan. At first the person says that he cannot get a loan, because they already have a lot of loan applications. When Tob begs to hear a story, the manager offers to give one chance to convince him. Tob tells the man the whole story. Even shows the scar that he got from trying to fry seaweed. He tells the man further that he brought a lot of seaweed, but unfortunately it went stale. He says that he went to a food and nutrition university and told his story there, and got some useful information like vacuum packing to avoid stalling and so on. After coming back from the bank he buys a lot of seaweed. He and Tung start frying. Tung checks the seaweed and tries again and again with different techniques to get the perfect seaweed. And he says that they need to buy more seaweed. Tob promises to buy more and he sells his computers and other old gadgets for the money. Tung is discouraged and says he doesn't want to do it anymore, because they've already squandered so much money. But Tob said they can't give up. Once they get it right they'll make the money back in no time. In the next scene Tob gets a call from his girlfriend reminding him that it is their last day of registration. As a result he arrives on time and registers for his classes. He comes back at night with the boxes of seaweed. He asks Tung to fry more seaweed, but gets no response. He found him lying in the bathroom and unconscious, bleeding from the head. Tob brings him to the hospital and sits in the waiting area holding a packet and praying for him. Luckily Tung is fine and has been discharged in a few days. Tob prepares the seaweed and brings it to the Tung to check. The seaweed trove fried, this time they were good enough. They can sell them. They started their business again and started selling seaweed with a good note. Tob's mother calls him to say happy birthday, and later in the call his father motivates him to study hard so they can call him to China next semester. He says that he already bought his tickets and will send it to him. Tob forces his father to tell him the truth about debt. When he comes back he finds another notice on his house. He doesn't know what else to do. He is listening to different speakers on the radio, but doesn't get any useful information. Finally he finds out about a company called 7-Eleven that buys and sells products all over the country. He goes there with his seaweed and waits for the director, even practicing his speech in the bathroom. But he forgets to give his name at reception. When the director comes, receptionist tells him to leave his product. She needs to go into a meeting in 10 minutes. He says that 10 minutes are fine and he wants to present his product. But unfortunately, the director doesn't like a product, saying that it has several faults and is even expensive for them. But before she goes away she tells him that most of the selling starts in urban areas and then moves to big cities. When he gets back his girlfriend is waiting for him. She asks why he doesn't say anything to her and says she will help him with anything, but he gets angry and fights with her. He leaves his girlfriend standing outside and locks the door. After going inside and lying down, he starts crying, saying that he is a jerk as he fights with his girlfriend while she was just trying to help. Tung says that he should not get disappointed and that everything will be fine soon. In the morning he goes and gets his packages redesigned. Later he goes to the 7-Eleven again, but can't meet the director even after waiting for the whole day. He gets very disappointed and gives all his seaweed to a security guard. He goes out and sits at a bus stop and calls his mom. He says that nothing is working for him and his product keeps getting rejected. His seaweed spread all around the office and everyone likes it very much. Soon he gets called by the company and he is ecstatic to know that his product is approved. They said that he would have to deliver his product to their 3,000 branches. The director instructs him on how to complete his delivery and his product will be delivered after he passes the GMP inspection. He needs a lot of money. At the bank they still refuse to give him a loan because he is so young. Later in the scene he sells his car and gets some money. But he couldn't get the supplies because they wanted more money soon. He is worried that they may not succeed this time. But Twank says nobody knows what will happen next and shouldn't lose hope. They rented a shop and prepared to set up a seaweed shop. Soon they will have a GMP inspection. His uncle says that he can bribe them, but Tops wants to do it properly. This time they have some complaints about cleanliness, but they don't make any decisions immediately and say that they will facts and their decision later. When he gets the facts, he is ecstatic to know that they have passed the inspection. He tried to work very hard, almost having no time to sleep. He hurried to pack and deliver the products on time, but it was very early in the morning. He hurried to the CP product loading point, but it was too late. He had already missed his turn. He tried to beg, saying that he had been working on the products all day and all night. The officer relented because he saw blood flowing from Top's nose. The officer believed that he was telling the truth and should have sympathized and given him an extension of the time. This allowed Top to deliver the products on time and have been selling at 7-Eleven ever since, which allowed Top and his family to get back together again.